Hi guys, Elizabeth and Ricky here. This is Life Goes Online.
Let's do this.
What do you think about how some people don't believe in climate change?
Oh, I think it's been drilled into them. There's a whole culture that if you're on the right or whatever, it's our group doesn't believe, and that was all manufactured in the 70s, 80s, and 90s by special interest groups and the papers and think tanks, all sponsored by the oil companies, especially is it Exxon? Not sure.
Empire.
No, definitely not Empire. They're the good guys.
I heard the phrase climate science. I hadn't heard that one before.
Really?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you have heard that?
I just hadn't heard it. I've heard of climate change. I've heard of climate.
Yeah, they change these things because, like, at once before it was climate change, it was the greenhouse effect, and then it was bad weather or something. No, there's a few different ones, but it's really about changing the word so it's not seen in a negative way or people react. I don't know.
I thought climate science would have been for the people that believed in climate change.
It is.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it's not in a negative way. What?
The climate science.
Yeah, I know. But I thought you said...
Oh, climate science might be high, like the right likes to take words that the left uses and then spin them around and then pretend like they do science and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like they know what they're, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I do.
Yeah, like the climate science, if you ask, there might be 30 scientists that say the climate science is real, but then there's this other bloke who's also a Christian who believes in miracles, and he's got a different opinion. Sorry. I went off track there.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you think that science in Australia will ever be good?
It was good. We had great science.
No, will ever be good.
Yeah, oh, well, I don't know. We've gutted it. The libs gutted. When I say libs, I mean in Australia it's the libs. In America, the libs is the left. In the right, the libs are the right. In Australia, the libs are the right. In America, it's actually everyone's on the right. All the politics, because they have a two-party system, so they can't. It's too hard to break out of that. Anyway, what were we talking about?
Do you think that there'll be science in Australia will come back around again?
I don't know. It depends if they're going to put the money into it. It was worthwhile. We invented Wi-Fi, and then we didn't have the infrastructure to sort of run with it, so we sold it to the Yanks. We sold all our good ideas to the Yanks, and then they make money off it. We make pittance. But yeah, the CSIRO has been gutted, and people have been put in charge that they're anti-science, like the bomb, the weather people in Australia. They just got handed a heap of cash by the oil companies, and that stops them from talking sense, and then people are put in charge who make sure that not too much is said about what we know and what's going on. It's all corrupt.
Yeah.
Just money. And there's big players in the Australian energy market that have a lot of sway, especially on the right. Even on the left, they'd give money to the left. Labor and all that, but it's ridiculous on the right. They just pretty much just speak the points that the big companies want them to speak, and like do legislation that helps them and hand out money.
And so what can be done about all this? Nothing.
Oh, there's always something. That's what can be done about it all. Well, it'd help if people were more educated, but like not pretend educated, where they'd learn about magical thinking and then go off down a rabbit hole of conspiracies, because that leads them to what they don't realise is they're actually supporting the status quo. All these people are like, oh, you know, they're not actually fighting the problem.
Yeah.
They're the obstruction to the problem. There's also the fact that we're being pulled in a million different directions, and there's no solid movements that, I don't know.
How old were you when you got interested in politics?
35?
Really?
Yeah,
That
probably.
late?
Oh, well, I was interested in, like, I didn't really understand politics, but I was interested in the world and the problems and all that. But, yeah, I didn't really understand politics that well.
And how did you learn about it?
How did I learn about it? Oh, just going on the internet, YouTube videos had come up.
Mm-hmm.
Friendly Geordies has been around for how long? 5, 6 years or something? That they showed me a bit. I read a bit of Chomsky. Watch videos on Chomsky. I don't know, all sorts of places, podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then the mainstream stuff. TV and all that.
Yeah, right.
But there's certain things they won't speak about.
Mm.
The underneathy stuff.
Mm.
Yeah.
See, I just find it's just one of those subjects I just don't really understand.
Mm.
So I just it's all a bit beyond me. Kind of give up a bit.
Yeah, I don't think everyone should be allowed to vote. I think you should have to do an aptitude test first to prove you know what you're talking about. Fair dinkum. Or another way to solve these problems is about big money in politics. Is if you want to be in politics, and this is an idea I got from a podcast, which got its idea from In the World. Didn't think up it, but lottery democracy, where if you want to be part of the politics, I suppose you'd have an element of bit of prior knowledge. Maybe, this is not what it said, I'm just adding this to it, but prior knowledge and an IQ of, say, over 110, and then you put your name down to want to be in a senator or a politician,
Yeah.
and you say what area you want to be in, and then they draw it out of a hat. And that's actually better than just the way it's done now, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Full on.
Because you get people in there instead of politicians.
What do you mean by that?
I don't know what I mean by that.
Sounded very
It's like that you'd get half of well, maybe more, but half of politicians' job is to get elected and stay elected, not actually govern. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of them are just, and then when they are elected, they twist stuff to support their base. They're not real. They don't honestly support what they believe is right. They look at, well, what's going to get me elected, and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So they've really got two jobs, and they've got one is the most important job, which is actually governing.
Yeah.
And then the second most important job is protecting their own skin in the game. And most politicians these days that will play the game, and even parties, like, it's good to have some sort of, like, filter it out and work out some sort of thing so we're not coming at it from 10 different ways and we can plot an idea and run with it. But, like, even if you went into a political party, you're supposed to follow the party line and all that, vote for whatever the party wants and that sort of thing. So it's a top-down sort of structure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just think if you have those things in place, say you do a TAFE course or some sort of online learning to become a politician, wouldn't need to be a political science degree. And then, because I reckon a lot of that, I don't know what a political science degree is, but a lot of it would be how to get elected and all that bullshit. And then you've got to have an IQ over a certain level, so you're not going up there and saying the Jews have blocked out the sun and shit like that.
Yeah.
Just rubbish that you see on the right in American politics. And then after that, you just go in a lottery and they pick out so many people and, game on. Go and support your country and work it out. Or even have two layers of democracy where you've got one level of parliament be elected one way and one elected the other way.
Yeah.
Just keep the bastards honest. Because I'm sure a lot of people go into politics with the, bright-eyed, bushy tail, and have all the right intentions. But then it becomes more about the culture than why you got into it in the first place.
Yeah.
You have to toe the line, and it becomes a different beast. And before you know it, you're not playing the game of better country.
Yeah.
You're playing the political game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I've gone into jobs where you go in there for the right intentions and your mind's on one thing, and then you work out the culture's not about best possible outcomes at all. And before you know it, you're playing that game too.
Yeah, I was going to say that. I mean, it's in politics, but politics is in anything as well.
Yeah, especially community services, because community services, the outcomes aren't based like in the business world where it's based on like, oh, you've made X amount of dollars or so you've proved yourself. It's all like wishy-washy.
Yeah.
It's fuzzy. So it's about it's about as much as playing the game of politics as about who's doing the job and who's going to make the good decisions. It's about who can you cozy up to, who you keeping comfortable, who you're not rubbing the shoulder, who you're not offending, and whether you're making sure that you're ticking the boxes and all that sort of shit. But it's not about. They try to make it about outcomes.
Yeah.
But something gets lost along the way, I think.
On a very smaller scale than that, I have this thing that if I was to do something out of passion and do a job for it,
yeah,
I would. That all goes well. That kind of bright-eyed, bushy-tail thing you're talking about. But as soon as I get money for it,
you get all cynical.
No.
Oh.
As soon as I get money for it, I don't get cynical. When I get money for it, I start thinking, oh, no, I don't like this job anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they've done like little, what they call, not tests, studies, yeah, where they're getting people to do stuff for free and they're all happy. And then you give them some money and they think, oh, that's not worth that sort of money.
No.
Yeah.
No, that's exactly right.
And you're underpaying me.
Yes.
My value's more than that, but they're quite happy to do it.
For free.
Otherwise, yeah.
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 Yeah, it's a real problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think we're creative enough as a society, Australia, all the West. Maybe like we're creative in business and coming up with, but we're not creative in problem solving for, it's all the same narrative. Like, we don't look outside the box of this is what the left's about, this is what the right's about, these are the solutions on our side, these are the solutions. Get creative about it, make it fun, just solve problems in weird and mysterious ways.
Yep, no, that sounds exciting.
Yeah, like, get creative with life, get creative with society. Gamify certain aspects of our lives, you know what I mean?
No.
But you got to be careful with that, because you don't want to make it about money or gain or something. But gamify them is, you create something that's, you need more people doing, and you create a game around it, and you can use like technology to create the game and implement it, and you actually create some sort of thing where it makes it fun to do something people aren't doing otherwise.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I remember there was a not public speaker, motivational speaker that came to the senior campus when I was in year 11 or 12 or some year or something that we were invited to at our school to go to. And he talked about that idea of that gamify, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Where he said that he was working at Blockbuster in the day of Blockbuster, and nobody liked to, he was just a kid that was working there, and no one liked to put the old video covers back on the shelf. Like, that was the worst job in the Blockbuster.
Yeah.
But then he gamified it, and he created a thing where it was like, see how many you can carry at once without dropping it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, they were all wanting to do that job because it was a game. It was a competition. It was interesting. I remember that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I watched a few videos on stuff like getting stuff done and motivation and all that, where you can turn certain aspects of the things you got to do into a game, and that can motivate you to get it done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but like that, it's, you got to be careful, because if it's things like monetary, not initiatives, rewards and that can be a bit, I don't know, something pernicious.
Yeah.
Sometimes, like these, if you go online and fill out forms or whatever, or surveys, and you can get $1.50 or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I like the idea of gamifying the internet, so you earn micro rewards for different stuff. But then I watched the video recently, because there's a thing called Web3, which is all this cryptocurrency and all that. It's like the next generation web. We had Web 2.0, the .com era, and then Web3 is all about introducing monetary sort of elements to everything, and some of it's like, I watched this video that showed the other side of it and how terrible it is to turn everything into a market and like make it all commodifying everything. And I got on this this like Twitter clone where you can make money by tweeting, and if those tweets get read or people like it, you get micro amounts of money, which can all add up. Like, if you're up the top, you can send out a post and make $100 with all the likes, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it ruined it, which is all about making money. Everyone's like, it was a totally. I tried to get involved, and you couldn't talk about anything outside the scope of the monetary reward itself. It was all about the coin and the getting followers and sharing, like saying you're going to do a money drop, just send your pay account to name to this, to post it on the website. And it was just about everyone trying to boost their monetary reward.
Yeah.
It was fucking gross.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there is a fun element to it, but not when you're like me and can't win at it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, it is. It's just terrible. It's like someone speak about birds or something. They're cool.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's funny because I'm part of this app at the moment, which is like a mother's app. It's just for a month. But there's this competition side of things where you go into a raffle.
Yeah.
And so every time you watch a quick video, you get like 10 or 20 points. Every time you put a comment down, it's 10 or 20 points,
Yeah.
etc. So, like for example, in one day you might have 120 points that you've made, and at the end of the month, those points are equivalent to tickets in a raffle.
Yeah, one ticket for a point.
1 point, yeah. And then whoever gets drawn from the raffle will get an Amazon voucher or something.
Okay.
Anyway, so I was starting to enjoy it at the start, and then my name kept dropping down the tally board,
Oh, okay.
and now I've just given up.
Yeah.
And I'm not enjoying the process because I'm like, well, I'll never catch up to the front.
Yeah.
And so it's like, even though it's like there's chance involved because
You can still win.
You could still win, but also like it's not to do with the Amazon voucher because you're probably not even going to get it anyway. Like
It's actually giving you a negative experience.
it's giving me a negative experience. It's really weird.
Yeah. While people are posting not because they've got something to say, but because they want to get more tickets, I suppose.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's quite funny. And that's not even real money. Like that's not money. That's just numbers.
Yeah.
Because that reminded me of it reminded me of something, and I've just lost it. But as soon as you attach like a status type thing according to something, or as soon as you attach some sort of reward system, it starts getting a bit murky. Even if it's not associated with money, but just associated with something that can count.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, enough of that. Just thought I'd.
Yeah, I had a thought, but I was just thinking about how I'd like it if, like Reddit's sort of a game like that where you can get upvoted and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I really wish it was based on geography. So you'd have to go through, because there'd be certain areas of geography where it'd be easy to get upvoted. It'd be good if like you could go to Dubbo and you could post in any sort of Reddit, but post, and it starts off in your area, or if you wanted it to, and then if you get a few posts there, it'd go to state and then national, and then worldwide or whatever. I don't know if it'd work, but it'd be, how on the internet you're competing with the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Instead of back in the day, you were competing with your own community.
Yeah.
So you could actually be half good at stuff and get sort of a bit of recognition.
Yeah.
But now it's just, you've got these, what are they called? Where these creators, which are just get all the accolades and the awards and everything, and then there's everybody else.
Yeah.
It's like the music industry. It's like a very small amount of people make money, and they make a huge amount of money.
Yeah.
And then the spikes like this, and then it goes down, and then there's a million people who put out albums on the internet that have got zero plays. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So, and that's in all creative endeavours. Yeah. What other one? Oh yeah, there's only about 4,000 actors that really make money in Hollywood, in the index, that are indexed sort of thing, that get regular jobs.
Yeah.
But how many more would be? And you need to be in Hollywood to be part of that. Like, what if you're an actor in fucking Zimbabwe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. Yeah.
Tell me, Liz.
Oh, well, you know.
You know how it is.
You know what goes on.
You know what goes on in the bushes. What I think we should be about. No, not should be about. I was just thinking before that I should be making this to give people the best I can give of myself. Like, what do I want to give people through this avenue?
Yeah.
Yeah, like what's like, I don't know, like what information would help people in their lives.
Yeah.
Mm.
And what did you come up with?
Oh, I haven't gotten that far yet.
Oh, but there's the concept of the best you can give them.
Yeah, like work out, like...
So no more fart jokes?
Oh, no, plenty of fart jokes. I think people need a good laugh, and I think fart jokes are right up there.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. See, I'm breaking new ground when it comes to fart jokes. I'm taking the genre in places that it's never been before.
Okay.
Mm. What I think we should do, we should have a competition to see who can do a fart the longest with their mouth.
Oh, well, I'd win hands down. Easy peasy.
Well, you can do it? Or is it ridiculous?
Yeah, that was harder than thought.
We didn't go for very long. We should have taken a deeper breath.
Yeah, I wasn't quite ready for it.
I think I've done longer ones in real life.
Yeah. Thought your eyes were going to pop out.
Yeah, I was getting a bit red, wasn't I?
Yeah.
See, people appreciate stuff like that. It's down to earth.
Down something.
It's gross, Ricky. It's filth.
Do you think that the gym industry should really just be scrapped?
No. What?
Oh, I think they're a bunch of taking people's money, robbing
Oh,
the rich.
how it works. Yeah. It's a bit of a scam. Few people get their value and the rest just get 2 trips to the gym and $1,000 bill.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh. But that's how they stay open, you know what I mean? If they didn't
Yeah,
have
but
that.
what if they made gyms, like
Yeah.
public libraries, a public gym? And I'm not talking about an outdoor gym. I'm talking about an indoor proper
Oh,
gym.
yeah. If
That-
they made gyms public,
That would be a health initiative that
Yeah.
would promote...
that's the real deal.
That's the real deal.
Yeah.
And I know that it wouldn't work because that would lead the gym industry into crisis, but maybe that's what they need.
Yeah.
You know?
It will be good. It will be good if you could, or just initiatives like every day, every 3 months there's a 12-week program that if you're over a certain amount of weight, you can have free training or something.
Yes.
And they just train a heap of fatties
Yes.
every 12 weeks.
And it's not like The Biggest Loser or anything. It's just without cameras.
Yeah, without cameras. Although we could probably take ours and see the results.
Well, true. But I just think that's mind-blowing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They should get creative with life. We're not very creative with it, are we?
No.
Everything's... If it doesn't fit the narrative of what's already been thought up or what we've done for the last 100 years, it gets squashed. It's like laws and fucking politics and all that. It's like, this is how the system works. But it's never like, let's sit down and actually work out the very best system we can create and implement that. You know what I mean? If it like, when we'll get to the stage where we become a republic here in Australia, what'll happen is we'll leave it as it is, and then we'll just slap on it. The Queen won't be the head of it anymore.
We'll just follow what other places do.
Yeah. I mean, it's dangerous, but we've got countries like Australia to some extent and America, who instead of looking outward to what the rest of the world's doing, and they're just insular. Like it just seems that way, especially in America. Like they think anything they sort of touch, they want to control. Like they're the best or something. Like they and really they've proved quite the opposite. Like, they don't care for that. Like, I'm not talking about the people of America, I'm talking about the hierarchical system or whatever they call it. They don't look after their people. It's terrible. It's a joke. And I know there's 300 million of them, so that makes it tough.
Oh, well, yes and no.
Yeah, but it's ridiculous. Like, they're so insular, yet there's countries that, and like, they just go, no, we do it better. We've got a better system, and it's and I really think, even though you hear the people saying that, it's really fed from the top down. Like the idea that like, don't look outward, don't actually give other countries the props of, oh, well, they've got it worked out and this is better. It's just all, their whole system's based on money to, like, wealth. It's just ridiculous. So they're rich, but they don't share it. You got all these sick, unhealthy people who have 2 jobs and then have a side hustle and all that, and they're all playing the game, but there's more to life than that, I think. I don't know. Should I shut my mouth?
No, I just think it's very tricky.
It's very tricky, yeah. Like, I'm going to worry we're not going to get bombed. You know what I mean? One of their little drones fly over and I'll take him out. He's saying, no, that doesn't happen. They're better than other countries in that regard. You can still have free speech as long as you don't go too far, like old blonde-headed guy from Australia. They want to do away with him.
I have no idea.
Julian Assange.
Oh, yeah.
Leaking secrets.
Yeah.
All the dirty little secrets America's got under its bed. At the top of its, you know?
Yeah.
And now they want to punish him for their dirty little... They're just so nasty. Just so nasty.
Tricky.
Yeah. Do you think I'll get cancelled?
No.
You'll get away with it because you're prettier than me.
Well, that's what it's about, isn't it?
Yeah, it comes down to it. Especially if you want... At least in England you can have, like, bad teeth and still be on TV. In America you have to be... It's all gloss. It's ridiculous. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Did you watch that movie that came out recently, Don't Look Up?
No.
And it showed the sort of like... so there's an asteroid going to hit Earth, and these scientists are going on the TV and talking to the morning television people that the world's going to be hit by an asteroid, and America has the ability to do something about it. And then they let some rich guy handle the program, and he muffs it up because he's trying to make money out of it. And then, but these people on the TV are just trying to pretend that everything's good.
Yeah.
And the scientists are just going, wake up, wake up. And they're like, oh, that's enough from you at the moment. Oh, he's very sick today. Yeah. I don't know how they were, but it was just really cancerous bloody, what's that word that they've got now? Like, to do with positivity.
Woke.
No, not woke. It's when you take positivity too far and you can't be around someone who's in a bad mood. It's like, you wreck my vibe. Like when you like all positive vibes all the time and you don't realise you just can't just pretend that the bad stuff isn't happening.
Toxic positivity.
Yeah, toxic positivity. Yeah.
It's very scary, that movie. It seems very realistic.
Oh, it's a good movie.
What was it called again?
Don't Look Up. I couldn't work out whether it was really deep and just really profound, or just an honest reflection of social media and the media in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, it was full on. And they had all the right-wing people just denying that it's happening until the world blows up.
Yeah.
And just making up stories. I was watching a Republican debate in Wyoming or something today, and it had these 6 to 8 Republican senators all talking about politics.
Yeah.
And they're all batshit crazy. Like, they were talking complete nonsense. Like, they're sick. They weren't. It wasn't about the truth. It wasn't about honesty. It wasn't about governing. It was about painting a picture that you could tell was just totally not real.
What do you mean? What's an example?
I'd have to watch it. Like, just I don't know, just queer stuff like. Oh, you know, some conspiracies that just don't make any sense. And they're like all conspiracy nuts.
Right.
Yeah. It's just, they've gone off the deep end.
Well, there you go.
I remember, sorry I'm talking so much,
You're
but
right.
I remember when I was a kid, in the 80s and that, I was a lefty then, like, even though I didn't know what left and right was. But the Conservatives, like, because I liked fun, and Conservatives didn't seem that much fun. But what they did have was family values and being sensible and doing the right thing and all those good values that you grow into as an adult.
Yeah.
And now I'm an adult, I realise the right wing, those are not the values they're pushing forward. It's just all sickness. It's all, and they take the worst part of the left, like the extreme parts, and act like that's typical.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sick. I mean, people on the left do it too, but not to the same extent. And the blatant lies. And I don't know whether they actually believe the lies and they've just gone too far down the rabbit hole and saying the shit. But these people are getting voted into their Senate and all that. And they're talking absolute fucking rubbish about space lasers and all sorts of shit. About like that, and just rubbishing just other people that aren't white, and just, it's crazy. And I was watching a video this morning, I'll stop after this, that I was listening to a bloke that talked about how all this stuff to do with how poor white people are racist and sort of blaming all the problems on Mexicans or people coming over. But it's really capitalism. It's really, they've had their jobs, like, especially in places like the Rust Belt, where they had big industry around automotives and all that. And then the big companies shipped them all overseas where they could pay pennies on the dollar or whatever. And all these people have seen their lives go backwards. Instead of blaming the problem, which is unfettered capitalism without checks and balances, they're blaming all the people that they have to share their country with that don't look and speak like them. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a worry.
Yeah. I want to get along with people. I know I'm a bit harsh on right-wing people, but really most of my friends are right-wing.
Yeah.
And I love them and they're good people.
Yeah.
Just, they don't have a logic valve.
Or maybe they're just misinformed.
Or maybe they're right and I'm wrong.
Well, they are right. You're left.
That's why they called it left, because the right were the ones that made it up. Anyway, but yeah, there was a place for conservatives back in the day, but now they're just white nationalists and just fucking regressive retards, and it's sick. And you can't even get a politician to say, "Oh, look, my side of politics is really sick at the moment. We're not well. They're just all going down the rabbit hole. And it's going to end badly.
Yeah.
Because they can't share. And they feel marginalised. There's not enough white faces on the TV. Oh, this is my country. All these lefties putting black faces on the TV. Hard for them. It's hard. You've got lesbians kissing, gay men kissing. You've got black people playing roles of white people. You've got past circumstances, which is history, where they've inserted people of colour. And what else have we got? We've got people who were once boys calling themselves girls, and we can't have that. I mean, you could just leave them alone and leave it at that and let them do what they like, but let's make that the big issue. Not that we can't get along or that we're being raped by people up the top who just worked out the system's fucked. It's always been rigged, but it's now there's no curtain over it. We've got the internet, and they're just going to town before it all comes crashing down. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe things aren't that bad. I'm certainly enjoying life, and that's how you got to be. You got to enjoy life. I wish I could do more, but I'm just going fucking Dubbo. In Dubbo. Like, what am I going to do? Milk a cow?
Yeah, it's tricky. I once did a blog article where I got really deep into like saying it's not fair how things happen in the world. There's nothing that we can do. It just seems really disempowering. And then one of your sisters messaged on the comment and said, well, you've just got to recognise that you can do a little bit in your little community and that'll make a bit of a ripple effect and a difference.
Yeah.
And I think that's helpful and refreshing.
It's hard when you want change because if there's a bit of ego involved, you don't want it to be small change. You want to be like, this is for me personally.
Yeah.
Yeah, like all you need is to make someone smile in their day, or this is enough for us.
Yeah.
But like, there's plenty of people out there that want to make the right decisions, but they don't organise because they all want to. They're in their own little bubble. They don't want to follow. They want to lead.
Yes.
Yeah.
I watched this great video on leadership once when I was doing my social work course or something. I don't know where I came across it.
Yeah.
But basically it was talking about leadership, and it was saying that, you know how usually you equate the responsibility of leader as the most critical role. But it was saying that the first person to follow the leader is actually the most critical role. And so what they had was this dance not movement, but like there was this big dance. What's it called when everyone dances together? Flash mob.
Flash
mob. This big flash mob type thing, but it wasn't an organised flash mob. It was just a big dance.
Okay.
Right? And the leader, they started dancing in the middle of everywhere, and no one else was dancing. Everyone was looking a bit weird.
Yeah.
But the leader wasn't the key figure in this video. It was the first person to follow that leader.
Yeah.
Was the key person, because as soon as one person followed that leader in dancing, bam! Yeah. Everyone
was having a go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So initially it was just one weird person.
Yeah.
But as soon as that second person decided, I'm going to follow this one person,
It wasn't
they're
so
not the
weird
leader,
anymore.
but
Yeah.
they're following that leader. It then created this change.
Yeah, cool.
I liked that.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Yeah. And so that, in a very metaphorical way, it's not so much the leaders that need to be given all the praise, but the people that go following. Not that they need the praise, but they need a little bit of encouragement, I guess, because they're the ones that are...
They're the movement.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you can have all the ideas in the world, but unless you have someone listen to you and or a group of people to actually like do something about it,
Yeah.
I seem to think for a long time that one man was more important than the group for like making change. But the problem is that man might have the right ideas, but one man can't do anything alone.
No.
Or very little.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. And it's through organisations and groups that things really get done, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you get out there in organisations and do your bit and stuff. But I don't. I'm just a little homebody. I've got my own issues that stop me from actively participating in society. That's why I love this sort of thing. It's my barrier. I'm home in my safe space.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's sing a song.
I still call
Australia
Australia
home. I've been to cities that taste really good.
From New York to Castlemaine and all that I should.
And if there's one place that I'd call my home,
I still call Australia.
home on the range where the deer and the antelope play, where seldom is heard the discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. Oh. Have we said enough?
I think we have.
Alright, we'll leave it at that.
Certainly sung enough.
Yeah, we've sung enough. Do we want to do the outro now? We've got a pre-written outro. Thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe and hit that bell. And on next episode, we're going to be talking about tortoises and how they grow their shells and what happens if they decide not to.
Can't wait.